Hello and welcome to UC San Diego's webinar for international parents and families. This webinar is intended for parents and families of incoming international freshmen to UC San Diego during the upcoming fall 2013 term. On behalf of UC San Diego's International Center and Parent and Family Programs Office, welcome and congratulations on your student's admission. This is an exciting time in your family's life, and we are so happy to be a part of it. We are here to assist you and your student throughout their stay in the United States. In addition, it is our mission to provide services and programs that enhance the quality of your students' experience and contribute to their academic success at UC San Diego. During this webinar, we hope to provide useful information. My name is Dulce Dorado, and I am the Director of the International Students and Programs Office. I am going to explain a lot of important information that you and your student should know about completing the admission and visa application process. My colleague, Lacey Whedon, who is the Director of the Parent and Family Program Office, will provide additional information that you and your student should know to get started at UC San Diego. At the end of the webinar, Lacey and I will respond to any questions that you might have. We also have another advisor, Grace Casa Silva, who will also be available to answer questions. In addition, we will post the PowerPoint presentation within the next week on our website at istudents.ucsd.edu. So please do not feel rushed to write down all the links and additional information included in the presentation. Today we are going to talk about some important topics that relate to your students' arrival in San Diego and their studies at UC San Diego. We will cover the following topics: an introduction to UC San Diego, completing the admission process, reviewing U.S. visa and passport information, short-term hotels and housing in the on-campus residence halls, money and financial matters, family education rights and Family Protection Act, otherwise known as FERPA, learn about campus resources for parents and families, and additional resources for international students. Again, at the end, we will answer questions that you may have. But first, I'd like to explain the GoToWebinar control panel. If you would like to submit a question, you may send it through the question box. Lacey, Grace, and I will monitor the questions and respond to them after the formal presentation ends and until 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will make every effort to answer your questions, so please be patient. Throughout the webinar, I may ask you a few questions. You will notice a hand symbol on your control panel. You may raise your hand by clicking on the hand symbol. So let's practice using this tool. Please raise your hand by clicking on the hand symbol if you can hear this presentation. Again, please select the hand symbol on your control panel if you can hear the presentation. Okay, great. It looks like many of you are familiar with the hand symbol on the control panel. Now let's try using the question tool. Again, this is the function that you will use to enter a question that we will answer after the presentation. Please type your home country in the question box. We'd like to know who is with us today during this webinar. It looks like we have families from India and Malaysia and China at this time. And the duration of this call should be about 30 to 35 minutes, and then afterwards we will then answer questions. So let's get started. Last fall, 2012, there were 29,052 undergraduate and graduate students enrolled at UC San Diego. For this fall 2013, UC San Diego received more than 82,000 freshman applications to enroll a class of about 4,300 students. The university received the third highest number of applicants among the University of California campuses. In recent years, UC San Diego has been among the nation's top 5 universities with the most applications. That's tough competition. Your student represents the best and brightest students in the world. This admitted class comes from almost every state in the United States and 95 different countries from around the world. This amazing geographic diversity brings a wide range of cultures, perspectives, experiences, and ideas, all of which contribute to the innovation and entrepreneurial spirit for which UC San Diego is widely recognized. It is why UC San Diego is ranked first in the nation for positive impact on the United States, and why our graduates earn the third highest starting salaries among public universities in the U.S. UC San Diego offers more than 100 undergraduate majors with social science, biology, and engineering as the top 3 most popular majors. Now that your student has been admitted to UC San Diego, I am sure you will have some questions about completing the admission process. Before I discuss this topic, I want to take a small poll. In your question box, please type yes or no whether your students have already submitted their intent to register at UCSD. Again, in your question box, please type in yes or no and answer the question, has your student submitted their intent to register at UC San Diego? Okay, great. It looks like many of your students have already submitted their intent to register. Okay. Next, the first item I'd like to discuss is my application. This website is very important for students during the application process. The website link is listed at the bottom of the screen, myapplication.ucsd.edu. When your student visits the link, he or she will be prompted to sign in Once the student logs in, your student can then accept the offer of admission by completing the required documents online or the statement of intent to register and pay the deposit. In addition, your student can also download flyers that have important information and deadlines and documents with a list of frequently asked questions and a guide for new students with important information about UC San Diego, where to live, campus traditions, and information about athletics and recreation. There, your student will also find a link to a personalized checklist which will include important information about college orientation, housing, health requirements, such as the tuberculosis screening and hepatitis B clearance requirements. This is also where your students will be able to track whether their transcripts or test scores have been received by admissions and will be able to see a list of all official documents and scores received by the admissions office. The admissions checklist is loaded with a lot of information for new students. When students accept the admissions offer, they will refer back to the checklist often over the next several months. Each time the students log in to My Application, the checklist will be the first page that they will see. Please keep in mind the important key deadlines. Number 1, all students must accept admission by May 1st. In addition, all students must submit transcripts and test scores by July 15th. Students must also complete the tuberculosis or TB screening requirement by July 31st. Again, all of these links and checklists for each student will be available at myapplication.ucsd.edu. Next, I will discuss the visa application process. To attend UC San Diego, international students must have an F1 or J1 status. Students may apply for an F1 or J1 visa at a U.S. embassy or consulate outside of the United States. To apply for an F1 visa, students will need an I-20 form. To apply for a J1 visa, students will need a DS 2019 form. The I-20 or DS 2019 is issued by UC San Diego. If you have questions about the visa application process, please visit our checklist for newly admitted freshmen on our website, which is listed on this page. Students can also email ifreshman@ucsd.edu if they have specific visa application or I-20 questions. If you have questions about the U.S. visa requirements, you may also visit travel.state.gov, or questions about U.S. Embassy information, you may visit www.usembassy.gov. Again, please refer to these links on this page. We will send a copy of this PowerPoint so that way you will have the links available to you, and it will be posted on our website by the end of this week. On this screen is what an I-20 or a DS 2019 form look like. When students receive their I-20 or DS 2019 from UC San Diego, they should review the documents to make sure the details are correct, such as spelling of both the first name and family name, birth date, country of birth, and country of citizenship. If there are any issues, please contact our office, the International Students and Programs Office, immediately so we can correct the documents. Students should arrive at UC San Diego by the correct date. students are eligible to enter the United States up to 30 days before the program start date on the I-20 or DS 2019. For most international freshmen, we will issue the document with a September 17 program start date, which is the first day of orientation. This means that your student can enter the United States as early as August 16th. However, if students arrive before orientation, please be aware that they will be responsible for their own housing arrangements, such as through a hotel or homestay or some other short-term housing arrangement. Students cannot move into student housing before Saturday, September 14, and there is no on-campus housing available for parents and families. To request an I-20 or DS 2019, students must make those requests via the iPortal. Students should select the link for iPortal on their My Application checklist. Again, that website is myapplication.ucsd.edu. When entering the iPortal, students will be asked a series of questions. It will take 15 to 20 minutes to complete the online application. In addition, students will need to upload a copy of their passport biographical page and a copy of their financial support letter, such as a bank statement from a parent or financial sponsor. So please prepare these documents ahead of time. Students can also request that these documents be mailed via express mail. Students are responsible for paying for these express mail fees and will be asked to create an eShip Global account on the website that is indicated on this page. All I-20 and DS 2019 requests must be submitted no later than July 15 to allow enough time for visa application processing. Next, we will review visa information for parents and families who are accompanying their students to UC San Diego. At this time, I'd like to ask a question of our participants. Please raise your hands. Again, select the hand symbol if you or additional family members will come with your student to UC San Diego prior to the first day of class. Okay, great. It looks like about half of you do plan to visit the United States and accompany your student. I hope the following information then will be helpful. If you and additional family members will accompany your student to UC San Diego prior to the first day of class, you may need either 1, to apply for a tourist visa, or 2, enter the U.S. without a visa via the U.S. Visa Waiver Program. Please check the U.S. visa requirements for your country at travel.state.gov/visa for information about visa requirements for entering the United States. In addition, please allow up to 4 to 6 weeks to apply for a tourist visa if this applies to you, so that way you have enough time to make arrangements. Next, my colleague Lacey Whedon, Director of Parent and Family Programs, will discuss several important information topics. She will start off with housing options for your student.
Hello, and thank you for participating in this webinar. We highly recommend that freshmen live in on-campus residence halls or apartments during their first year at UC San Diego. It is very convenient, a great way to meet friends, learn more about campus resources, and stay connected to campus. Applications for on-campus housing will only be accepted online via My Application from students who have been formally admitted to UC San Diego. The Department of Housing and Dining Services operates several housing complexes in an effort to provide the greatest degree of flexibility for students selecting their residence. Please note that housing is limited. Descriptions of each community are available by visiting the housing homepage at http://hdh.ucsd.edu/housing. To apply online for on-campus housing, go to My Application, and to apply for housing, submit your housing by June 28th, and the deposit is due of $650. Short-term housing is also available for students who need to come over earlier. Please go to the International Center Resources page. The link note is listed on the site. Here you can find short-term housing options such as homestay exchange programs. If you are accompanying your student before the first day of classes, UC San Diego has partnered with Bartell Hotels to provide reduced rate hotels at some of the finest hotel properties in San Diego. All hotels are located conveniently and offer courtesy airport transportation. The closest to UC San Diego is the Sheraton La Jolla, which is located right across the street from campus. For more information, call the number listed or visit the website at tritonfamilydestinations.com. Next, I will cover money and financial matters. All tuition and payment information is available on the student's account on Triton link at http://students.ucsd.edu, listed under the Finance Tools. The list of tuition and fees is available at the link listed. Tuition and fees for 2013 and 2014 have not been set by the University of California system. Should be available by late July. The tuition and fees are due, please note, on September 20th, 2013. For complete billing information and due date information, please visit the website listed there at students.ucsd.edu, finances, billing, payment, understanding due dates. It's a very long link there, but again, all of this will be available to you when we send the PowerPoint later in the week. In addition, you may want to view your student's bill, but the student may provide authorization to do so. Please ask your student to visit http://students.ucsd.edu, finances, billing, payment. Your student should select the link for billing and payment selection in Triton link under the Finances tab and log in to authorize a payer. This is important. You will not be able to view your student's bill. Your student must give you permission to do so. You will then receive an email notice from your student once they authorize you as a payer, and you can set up a username and password to access billing information for your student. Fees are due each quarter. There are various ways that you can pay your student's bill. Students can pay the bill in person at the cashier's office. Cash only is accepted at the cashier's office. They can mail a money order or check, cashier's check or traveler's check to UC San Diego. They can use an e-check or pay bills electronically from a U.S.-based bank account. You may need to convert your home country currency to U.S. dollars prior to wiring funds to the U.S. bank account. You may also register for a monthly payment plan called the Triton Registration Installment Plan, otherwise known as TRIP. For more information, please visit the link listed there. At this time, UC San Diego does not accept direct wire transfers or credit card payments. U.S. Bank representatives will be available at the Resource Fair during International Student Orientation, which is also our parent orientation, on September 17th. At that time, your student can open a bank account. For questions specifically related to billing, you can visit or email the studentbusiness@ucsd.edu. Just last year, we did add a new way to pay for our international families, hoping to make it a little bit easier for them. So we added an option with Western Union to accept payments from overseas. Please visit the website listed on this page to wire funds to UC San Diego. The exchange rate quote is valid for 72 hours. After completing the online application, please print the receipt and take it with you to your bank for processing. Local fees may apply and will vary, so please check with your bank. We encourage you to do research to see which payment option works best for you and your family. I will now talk about the Family Education Rights to Privacy Act, otherwise known here in the U.S. as FERPA. The Family Education Rights to Privacy Act indicates that students have a right to privacy. The students have a right to inspect their records. In health or safety emergencies, the university may release relevant student information and records to parents. When there has been an alcohol or drug violation, the university may notify parents of alcohol or drug violations by students under the age of 21. In the U.S., the drinking age for alcohol is 21, which may differ from your country. So you are now part of the Triton family, so welcome. Parents and Family Programs at UC San Diego wants to be a partner with you to ensure your students' success here at UC San Diego. We have various ways to communicate with you throughout the year. We'll have a university parent guide, which will be available in June, and you can find that on the parents' website. We have a family calendar also available in June. We have a parents' helpline. We also have a parents' email. Many of our families from around the world will email us questions at parents@ucsd.edu, and we will respond within 24 to 48 hours. If we don't know the answer, we will get you to the person who does. We also email our families once a month a newsletter letting them know what's happening on campus at UC San Diego. For more information about Parent Family Programs, visit our website, parents.ucsd.edu. We also host events for families throughout the year, and several of our international families have found these dates to be helpful for them. If they can't visit their student at the beginning of the year to drop them off at the beginning of the school year, they'll come back and visit. So first to note is orientation for our international families. That is the same day as orientation for the international students. That is held on September 17th. We also have Family Weekend, which is October 18th through the 20th. Some families choose to not come in September and choose to come back in October, or choose to come to campus in October. We also have a weekend in January, Siblings Weekend. And again, some international families have found that date to be accessible for them depending on their vacation schedules and other requirements at home. Our motto in our office is when parents are informed, students benefit. So please let us know how we can help you to make sure your student succeeds here at UC San Diego. Dulce will continue with the rest of the presentation.
For this upcoming fall quarter, we are expecting more than 1,800 new international students and more than 600 international freshmen as a part of that new group. Our office is here to assist your student from the very beginning. We provide pre-arrival information and orientation for new international students, as well as advise students on immigration, academic, housing, employment, and social and cultural adjustment issues. In addition, we offer fun, intercultural programs and activities for all students at UC San Diego. Please refer your students to our office if they have any questions or need any assistance during their stay in the United States. Our website is on this page. It's istudents.ucsd.edu. I also want to highlight several programs geared specifically for international freshmen to ensure their success at UC San Diego. The first program is the International Triton Transition Program, and the second is the Triton International Leaders. The International Triton Transition Program allows your student to be a Triton before everyone else. It helps international freshmen get an early start to successfully transition to academic and student life at UC San Diego. The 4-week program begins right before the beginning of the fall 2013 quarter and runs from August 19 through September 13. Students will meet other incoming international freshmen and current UC San Diego students, make many new friends, live in on-campus residence halls, eat at the dining halls, take writing courses to help them succeed academically, learn about UC San Diego resources, and visit many local attractions in San Diego. Enrollment is limited to only 160 students, so please apply early. Online applications must be submitted by May 1st on the website that is located on this page. The other program that's geared specifically for incoming students is called the Triton International Leaders Program, or TILS. This is a peer mentoring program where new students will be matched with existing or current UC San Diego undergraduate students who will serve as their mentor. Mentors can provide information about the campus, resources, student life, and life in San Diego, and help students with questions about their first year on campus. There are many opportunities for students to meet with their mentor during weekly meetings and weekend activities throughout the first year. Again, for your student to apply, please visit the website that is located on this page. International students are also required to attend an orientation and welcome program during their first week of school. This will give students an opportunity to meet other international students and learn about UC San Diego resources. The mandatory International Freshman Student Orientation is on Tuesday, September 17th. So please make sure your student is here by that time. Remember, students can arrive in the U.S. as early as 30 days before the start date on the I-20. You will also notice, and as Lacey mentioned, we are offering an International Parent and Family Orientation on the same day as the freshman orientation on Tuesday, September 17th. More information and registration links will be made available to your student in late June. In addition to the International Student Orientation, students will be required to attend a mandatory college orientation. Both orientations are different and are mandatory and require your student's attendance. Please ask your student to visit his or her college's website to determine the mandatory orientation dates. These dates are usually held in mid-September. In addition, all of the colleges also have a parent orientation session where you can learn more about the college system and resources available to you. Please review their information on their website as well. We are nearing the end of the webinar. To summarize, here are important reminders for your student. May 1st is the deadline to submit the statement of intent to register and pay the deposit for incoming students. May 1st is also the deadline for applying for on-campus housing. Both of these can be accessed through the My Application website. Again, that website is myapplication.ucsd.edu. Please ask your student to log on to that website to submit their intent to register at UCSD, pay their deposit, but also apply for on-campus housing during the upcoming academic year. The deposit for housing in the amount of $650 will be due on June 28th. In addition, May 1st is also an important day because that is the deadline for applying for the International Triton Transition Program. Again, that's our 4-week summer program for incoming freshmen. July 15 is the deadline to apply for the I-20 or DS 2019. As you will recall, that is the document needed for your student to apply for a U.S. visa, such as an F1 or J1 visa, at a U.S. consulate or U.S. embassy in your home country. July 15th is the deadline for your students to submit all original test scores and transcripts to the admissions office. July 31st is the deadline to complete the tuberculosis screening questionnaire. Again, this questionnaire is available on the My Application checklist at myapplication.ucsd.edu. September 17th is the mandatory International Center orientation for incoming international freshmen. And again, please check your college's website for mandatory college orientations for your student, usually held in mid-September. This page identifies some important contact information for your future reference. If you think of any other questions at a later time, you can email us directly. Remember, we will email you this presentation for your reference, so don't worry if you have not written everything down, and we will post a recorded version of this webinar on our website. The key email to remember here is for parents and families. Feel free to contact Lacey Whedon, Director of the Parent and Family Programs Office, at parents@ucsd.edu. Her office will provide any additional assistance you may need prior to your student's arrival or during their academic studies at UC San Diego. Again, that's parents@ucsd.edu. If you have any additional questions after the webinar, you may also visit some of our key websites. First is the undergraduate admissions page. Their website is located at admissions.ucsd.edu. The International Center is istudents.ucsd.edu. The housing office, hdh.ucsd.edu, and the parent and family programs at parents.ucsd.edu. This now ends our formal presentation for our webinar. Thank you for joining us today. We hope the software was easy to use and that you found the information helpful and useful in preparing for your students' arrival at UC San Diego. We will remain on the webinar for the next 15 minutes and until 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to answer your questions. Again, please use the question function in the control panel to submit questions. Lacey, Grace, and I will respond to you directly. This is now the end of the formal webinar. You will also receive a survey at the end of the webinar. There are about 5 or 7 questions. Please complete the survey so we can then make improvements for future webinars. Thank you again, and we look forward to assisting you and your student in the future. Thank you.